on using the Aspen Tree dies. These dies are in the mini catalog, and they're actually they've just been added to the freebie list for celebration in August. So they're on page 46, and they're bundled together with Perched in a Tree. But if you're getting them free for celebration, be sure to get the stamp set separate from the dies, and there'll be a different order number to get the dies for free with a $100 purchase. So I want to show you a few tips on how to use the dies. I already had them in my stash because I just loved this bundle, so I pulled them out and I've been playing this morning with some ideas. So I've been using the Texture Chic designer paper because that's what is in my class for this month, and I had it out and I thought, oh, that works really, really good with the Aspen Tree dies. So Texture Chic is a collection in the annual catalog, and it's on page 98 and 99, but you can see that those colors go really nicely with the Aspen Tree dies. Aspen trees are not in our area, but we have birch trees that are very similar. So the trunks look very similar. The leaves are a little different. Here we've got a nice, this is the Aspen Tree die. It's kind of a wider tree, and my birch tree is a little narrower. Sorry about the phone ringing. Anyhow, so I'm putting together the dies. Let me show you the dies. There's this, and then put this on and run it through like that, and then that will cut out the birch trees. And then there's the two leaves. There is the bird shape that cuts out, and also the tree branch. And there's one other die that kind of makes foliage. So I've got some foliage here with that die, and I played around with the distressed gold paper from the Texture Chic suite here, so that was really fun. I think it really adds some sparkle to the leaves there. So here's what it would look like with the snowflake paper and the birch and the foliage. If you wanted to, let's see. Let's try another combination. This one I thought was pretty because it brings in the yellow color. Both the birch trees and the aspen trees have yellow in the fall. So this is, we could do that, or we could also try one of the metallic pieces like that. And this one actually has some oak leaves in it, so that also would be a nice background because it has kind of those fall colors. So not only can we add that paper to the background, but we can also add the bird and the branch like that. I didn't even play with the sentiments yet. It has some really, the stamp set has some really nice sentiments for both Christmas and for just general occasions. No matter the season, I'm here for you. Your kindness warms my heart. Wishing you abundant joy and peace. Let heaven and nature sing. So really any season would be great for this bunch of products. Okay, now I'm going to show you how I added some color to those branches. So I played around with a sponge dauber first, because in the picture right there they have a sponge dauber in the sample, and they use that to add some color. And I decided that Smoky Slate was a good color, so let's grab sponge dauber. And I have a little tip. I decided rather than just daubing it on the branch, I actually picked up the piece and took my sponge dauber and went right down the edge of the trunk here. And I think that really makes it pop when you're layering. Look at how that brings out that color. And then you can't really get it in too well up here, but all the branches, all the trunks at the bottom, you can do that pretty nicely to get that Smoky Slate ink in there. And then I came back with, let's see, on this one I tried the light basic black, and on this one I tried the light Smoky Slate. Oh, actually, this is the dark Smoky Slate. And I thought that I used the brush tip actually. And I just came in and just added a little bit where those cut marks are to make those, I'm not sure what you call them in the tree, but those little places where the black color shows up. And so just added that, and I think that adds a nice touch to it. And you can decide if you want the more gray colors or the darker colors using the light basic black. So there's some tips for those Aspen dies, and there's lots of fun ways you could combine those and make some really cool cards for all occasions, even Christmas. I took my blender pen after I stamped in soft suede and just grabbed some of that color while it was still wet and pulled it in to color my branch and my bird. But I can come back and add some brighter colors too if I want to make him into a blue bird or some other bird. So lots of ideas to try. Everything's available through my website, kwstamps.stampinup.net. Hope you enjoy these tips, and happy crafting.